Hello and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Friday, the 21st of April. I'm glad to see you here. Now, today isn't going to be a funny Friday. It's more like a feel-good Friday because I am in my happy place. I am sitting here in the library in Wainwright, Alberta, and I'm sitting in the children's section because it's the only place I go where I wouldn't interrupt other people as they're reading and having quiet conversations and doing research and things like that. But I just wanted to talk about finding that feel good place. Where is that place in your life where you can just escape, where you can get away and feel comfortable and feel warm, and maybe it's a quiet place. Like for me, libraries are great because I'm an introvert and I like to keep my space to myself, and it's cool that way. But for lots of people, it might be a bigger, more open place like an arena, or figure skating or public skating, or it could be window shopping at the mall, or being out in the park playing frisbee, things like that. But like, where is your feel good place? What would help you to have a feel good Friday? Um, for me, there's something incredible about being surrounded by books. Like, this is the youth section behind me, and I just think, if I could have another 1,000 years and better eyesight and lots of time, like just no responsibilities, I would love to just read, because every single book behind me opens up a universe of possibility. It creates, when I'm reading a book makes me imagine things. And depending on how detailed the author is, I can imagine things exactly as they say them. If there's something they want me to see in my head, they'll give me the details that are so specific and finite that you can't help but imagine what it is the author sees in their imagination. But then sometimes the author leaves it more open and allows you to paint those pictures yourself. And that's an incredible thing to see. It's an amazing place to be when you can enter into a story and you can make it your home. I'm reading a book right now that's a really difficult book to read. I think it's called All the Light You Cannot See. I'm reading it for a book club that I'm in with the Military Family Resource Center book club, and it's a Pulitzer Prize winner, I think, and it's a really tough book about a blind girl in France during World War II and a young German soldier. And so far, I'm two-thirds of the way through the book, and they haven't met each other or anything. They're two different parallels. So you've got this German soldier who's very, very talented with complex machinery, and he does radios, and he's responsible for helping his unit to set up triangulate radio signals so they can find the enemy. And she is a blind girl who has sort of unwittingly become part of the resistance. And we're just only slowly understanding the depth of both of the characters. And mercifully, the chapters are very short, 2 or 3 pages long, because it's just such a heavy topic that I can't just skip through it. Now, I just finished reading another book at the same time, I think it's called Crepe Factor by Laura Childs, and it takes place in New Orleans, Louisiana, and there's a series of stories about Carmilla, she runs a craft store, and she gets involved in murder mysteries, and she's always exploring things. And it's one of those books that's just really quick read, and it's light, and the closest you get to feeling anxious is like for that minute and a half in the book where she might get caught. But she never does. She's always okay. So finding that balance, but having a place like a library or someplace, or even my living room with all my books, because I pretty much have a library in my house, allows me to go someplace else, to be able to escape the world and to get into a space where, for one thing, if I feel overwhelmed by it, I can close the book. I have some control over my environment and how I'm feeling. And if my world outside of me that I'm really in, my reality is getting too overwhelming, I can pick up the book and enter into a world that I have control over. It's great, isn't it? It helps me to feel good. Sometimes it challenges me. It always makes me think. And really, I think all of those things that we do, those feel-good things, those places we go, the things that we do, the activities we participate in, the people we hang out with, because we choose to, are those things that do indeed make us think. They take us beyond ourselves. I mentioned things like, figure skating or going public skating at the arena or playing frisbee in the park or window shopping. Look what we're doing in all of those things. If you're, not an introvert and want to stay by yourself and you want to get out into the world and do something, you're still exposing yourself to environments that you still have control over. If you're walking in the mall, you can choose not to. If you're going for a walk in the park, you can always go home. If you're out, public skating, you can always go take your skates off. You have control over what makes you feel good. But at the same time, you're seeing other people, you're watching people and their stories. There's the possibility for imagination, recognizing, like, I love people watching. And, like, I go and, like, I'm not a very good skater. Like, I can barely stand up on skates, so I don't go very often. Like, haven't in years. But one of the things I love to do is watch people and families and sort of make up stories about, there's a dad with his little two boys and they're out there and they're obviously on skates for the first time and he's trying to be patient with them and like he's like, look at him, he loves his kids so much and oh, that little guy, his ankles look like they're going to flop right over and I hope he's okay. Or you're window shopping and you see that mom who looks like she's just completely harried, like her kids are just, I want that, I want that. When she says no, they scream. And you just, all those people who walk by staring at her like, you evil mother, either you should give them everything they want or you should have better control over your children. And then that older woman who walks up and just says something nice to her that makes you realize that, what, she's been there too. And she's just given that mom a little bit of help. Or the teenagers when they wander around the mall. That fascinates me. When they're just hanging out and talking to each other. I guess back in the days when people talked to each other and didn't just use their thumbs the whole time they were walking into things. But just seeing them hang out and seeing, like, watching the teenage girls run into, Garage or Reitman's or wherever they might be to try on new clothes. Maybe they can't afford them. Maybe they don't have no intention of buying them. But the possibility, being able to walk into a store and try on something and look at yourself in the mirror, have somebody take a picture of you and put it up on Facebook, what do you think, or on your Instagram account. Just the possibility of what this could be me. This could be mine. This could be how I look in this outfit. The possibilities are endless when we allow ourselves to use our imaginations, when we allow ourselves to think beyond where we are right now. And to be quite frank, I think we all need that. We all need those moments in our lives when we can just escape the foo-fa-ra that's happening and we can just go into a world where everything's possible. As you head into your weekend, I really do hope that you have moments or hours or even days when you can recognize that everything is possible, that all wonderful and good things that you dream of are possible, because they are. We are limited only by our own imaginations. I really believe that. There are things out there that we can do that maybe we think we can't, but if we really gave it some thought, like the books that we read, we could go beyond. We could go beyond the covers of our own lives and spread ourselves open so that we might recognize the reality that we can participate in out there beyond our where we are right now. So on this Feel Good Friday, I hope you find some place to feel good. I hope you find some things to do and some people to talk to or whatever it is that makes you feel good. But I hope that you're able to spend some time in that feel good place and really just appreciate the gift of being alive, being able to draw breath and share your wonderful you with the world. Have a great weekend. God bless you, and I will see you on Sunday for Church at Home with Rachel, for Gospel on the Go, for the fourth Sunday after Easter, fourth Sunday of Easter, or on Monday for Church at Home with Rachel. I'm really glad you're with me. I enjoy your company. God bless.